Hello and welcome back. This is a time-lapse episode entirely, purely because I was running short on time, didn't want to have to go through all the editing, deciding how much I want to input into the video. So it's a time-lapse, and this area I want to really emphasize is not done at the end of the video, to the point that I'm happy with it. It's alright at the end of the video, but it's not great. The detailing I'm not satisfied with at the end of the video, and so the next episode will be detailing and building some parks. However, this area is going to be a centralised, I say centralised, it's going to be the town centre, and it's going to be very tall, as you will see later on in the video. But we're going to start off the crossover train hub, because I think this is a location that is probably quite a rare thing, but a location where it makes sense, because often people put in the crossover train hub for two reasons. One, because it looks good, or two, because of the game's functionality. In this case, I'm putting it in because of the way I want to run my rail lines, as opposed, I'm not going to separate my intercity trains, for example. This is just the routes that I like, that I want to happen. So we're doing a bit of grading, building the routes in and out of the town, city. It's going to be probably the second largest town, this one. So I also want to emphasise, this is not the end of this town. There's still a good 5 other episodes in this town left, but I wanted to build this. I say 5 other episodes. After this is completed, 5 other episodes. So there's a lot more for this town to do. And I don't think I've counted that the farming district into the 5 episodes, which is going to replace our generic industry that we've kind of just placed down temporarily to satisfy our needs before we get around to building something better. So, the station's in. I think we're gonna... we've got some power issues. So it's just unedited cuts. Well, actually, there's a few cuts where I skip a bit later on, but this is largely just sped up, unedited stuff. At the end, there will be some cinematics. I'll probably put in chapters if I don't remember. There's cinematics at the end. They're not the best, but it would be my second time using cinematic camera, so cut me some slack, please. So the story behind this town, I've decided, is that this is a town in the region that was built after the Second World War. And the Second World War devastated the capital, which we are going to build soon. So the capital is going to be really modern. This one is going to have lots of old houses, a bit of a modern area as well, like it's been regenerated into something a lot more... Well, I say regenerated, it's been gentrified, as much as I hate the term. And to be honest, I don't like gentrification, because that's just a bit of a rude term if I think, saying, well, it's not really, but it's not rude. I don't like it, because I don't like gentrification, because it normally means, in London at least, knocking down people's homes to build richer people's homes. But which is what happened here, as the story goes. This is just planning out some suburbia to build alongside, and I want to emphasise, we don't finish all of this episode. We put in all the buildings, but there's the park still to build, there's the suburbia to decorate, and a lot of the town centre to decorate as well. There's a lot of decoration needed still. But, well, grading now, obviously. I say but well, and then do something completely different, so I don't know why the but and the well was there. Probably just placeholders. This is me faffing about trying to get a bridge in. It was a pain. It took long. Well, this is sped up 6 times. Reason being is I don't want a time-lapse episode to be too long, because time-lapses can get quite boring. And I wasn't happy with that because I don't think it should be going up after it's crossed over the road. That just seems a bit silly to me. And then I'm not happy with that, so I built something a bit more glamorous. There we go. And the buses can get under it this time. Right, and this is our landmark building, and I've decided to place it on the hill to give it a bit more emphasis. This is 3 St Mariacs. Other people from the UK or London will know it as the Gherkin, and probably throughout the world people might know it if you're kind of smart, but you don't have to be smart to know it, you just have to know it. But it's a very iconic skyscraper in London, but it's very hidden these days. Anyway, I was just thinking this could be the skyscraper for the town. And node controller was being funky with that station, and I did fix it eventually because I wasn't happy with the way the train was going in and out of the station. It was too, you know, I think people who play cities will be able to imagine what I mean when I say it was too, But what I'm doing here is carving out a bit of a channel for a railway to run through. For 2 reasons. 1, to make the tunnel look nice, and 2, to create a bit of a more exciting aesthetic to the area. It takes a bit of trial and error to get trains right, often in cities, I would say. Often I find even the best people, in city skylines, do just leave trains looking a bit ugly, and I can't live with. Ugh, no. My trains have to be perfect, not too steep, not wonky, wibbly wobbly, janky elevations and stuff. They have to be really smooth. I think I did alright with that in the confined space I had. Just playing about with some assets, offices, residential, commercial, all mixed together. Probably a bad idea because of the noise pollution, but whatever. Notice how we're kind of building up height towards the Gherkin for 3 St Mariacs. There's 30 St Mariacs. No, it's 3 St Mariacs. Why are you questioning? Who cares? I do. Okay, fine. Some commercial high street vibes. I say high street is quite American commercial. Not even American, it's just not really. It's odd. I would say it's quite New York, block houses style. Again, playing about with some small amounts of asset merging, not proper asset merging, but things to make assets look beefier or work better together. And I think the skyline ended up looking fantastic. And for the detailing, what I'm just struggling with is new ideas, and also it's I find it gets a bit boring to detail all the time, but that's just me. A lot of people, and I do occasionally, find it fun to detail. Anyway, what's next? Oh yeah, I kind of got distracted in this section. Be back in a few seconds. I should really cut this out. No, but I'm back already, so I'm not going to cut it out. That's too much like hard work, if you know what I mean. Again, playing about with assets, just putting down ones I think look reasonable. And I think we'll have a proper look at the area next episode. The cinematics aren't very good, they're not very smooth. I will accept that I'm not very good at cinematics, and I probably will get better over time. But they're hard to get smooth, and it's not something I was kind of in a rush to get this video out, so you know, I wanted to get it done. And here, I realised there was an opportunity for asset merging. Apologies for me yawning, that's a bit rude. But the issue is, I don't know why, but they're not fitting together properly in a circle. I know there's meant to be a gap in the middle because of the way they are, but they're not the same area. It really irritated me. But I was just like, oh, get over it. So, as you can see, it's Green City's assets over here. But it's all a mix, some water walls as well. And there are some really nice vanilla high density residential assets, actually. If you just have to look hard enough. The low level ones aren't very nice, but they give you a good... Gosh, why am I yawning so much? They give you a good post-war council estate vibe, like emergency housing kind of a deal. And this is on to not nearly finished, but working on something. Yeah, I believe we now have a train ride. Oh, I skipped it. Don't worry, I will edit the train ride in. I shove it before the time lapse at the end. That was really stupid of me. But because I'm recording this voiceover in one go, it'd be odd for me to say this and then you'd be like, oh, but the train ride was there. No, it wasn't. Anyways, boopity boop boop boop. So filling in suburbia now. Oh, connected as soon as I remove that zoning to discourage people growing the wrong way. But hey ho, it is what it is. It was just something that really quite annoyed me a bit. Well, not annoyed me, but it's always the way, isn't it? It's always the way. So putting in some parks, trying to raise the land value. At this point I'm quite broke, so that's part of the reason why I zoned up for suburbia, to grow population a bit and a bit of taxes. With that, I should probably check that my high density residential office and stuff taxes are up quite high enough. Anyway, so just trying to get this park to work. As soon as I edited the nodes there to make it smoother, which I did off camera, by the way, because you didn't see that. It marked up the park that I believe I also placed off camera. So yeah, that's great. You needed to see the bit with me faffing about the park, didn't you? Anyway, so I replaced it with some netball, basketball, and a plaza. And it looks alright. I really love the crossover train hub. It's really nice asset. I mean, I think for rail hubs in train stations, honestly, I don't believe to be as good. However, I do think they are still wonderful assets. The end station with Metro, that's pretty good. I do like that one. Anyway, continuing on, looking to place some big schools, but I don't really have room, so I put in some small ones. And really, I know I should be designing the area around the assets, but I didn't do that. What are you going to do? Sue me? Anyway, just splashing a bit of zoning in, trying to change it up a bit. And I found it felt like it was constantly night. And yeah, I know I should probably just change it to day, but I don't know what's happened to my mods. And City Skylines isn't allowing me to change back to daytime. So we're gonna have to, I have to stick to night when it's night, and it's impossible to see. And look, I swear it's more night than day. At least what it felt like in cities. So it just felt like I was just playing night mode. IMT. I did do IMT for this road, and I could have done it for the tracks with the fence, but it was too tedious and I couldn't be bothered. It's my node count, not yours. So yeah, just decided to remove that because I wasn't happy with that I don't know why it was growing in European. It's almost like we're on a European map. Really? Anyway, so doing a bit of fencing. Couldn't be bothered with IMT. Sorting out these nodes as well, because the train wasn't going over them particularly smoothly, but as you could probably just make out there, it went over fairly smoothly. But see, it's just constantly night all the time. It's really annoying. I don't know whether I like those or not, but they're there and they're staying probably, because I'm not going to get rid of them, because, you know, why get rid of them if you don't really, if you're impartial. Anyway, I'm doing a bit of tree patterns. I think often I do think that the best detailing is just a bit of overgrowth, bit of trees. Really fills in the space, very little effort, because, you know, I'm not few candy overcharged eggs Yukaboa. I don't want to do too much detailing, but because this is such difficult terrain over here, I have gone a bit above and beyond with the detailing that compared to what I would normally do. And I say I haven't done it yet, but I plan to go a bit higher detailing levels than I would normally do, purely because, yeah, because I want to hide the rough terrain work. And also, with high density ones like this, where the assets are in place, really feels like you need to fill in those spaces. Because you do, otherwise it looks silly. So, I am going to do that. For example, here, I had a bit of a go at this. It took me a few minutes. And, I mean, yeah, as I said before, a lot of the reason this area isn't quite polished yet is because I was in a bit of a hurry to get this video out. On that note, apologies for not uploading last week. I was very busy last week, so I didn't have time. Deal with it. I'm doing a bit of zoning, but then I don't want to fill it up because you need open space, otherwise it's silly, but then you have to fill the open space, otherwise it just looks really stupid. See, in normal real life, I'd love to just see a tree, a bench. Well, that's normally what I would do. My main detailing is a tree and a bench. Some overgrowth, maybe a path. And it's just, that's just good. So, yeah. Excuse me if I buffered a bit, human buffering. My screen turned off, so I wasn't focusing really on what I was saying. I was focusing on getting the screen timed out, because I wasn't using the computer for so long. Oh, it's 17 minutes. Anyway, so what would be this? This be... Tree brush stopped working again. It's very temperamental. I don't know why. I've checked my compat report. If anyone could tell me why, that would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, so I spent all this time trying to get... If I could just click, so you probably saw at the start, if I just clicked on a tree with all of those coming up... Why am I yawning so much? If I just clicked on a tree with all of those coming up, then it would select all the tree. You could see there, and I was just like, by the point where it wasn't just tall grass cluster coming up, I was just given up. I just couldn't be bothered. So I ended up doing this, and I don't know whether I like it or not. It's a bit odd, but I quite feel maybe if I spaced some rocks, more rocks, I think I'd quite like it. It was too barren, so I just spread live oaks around. Kind of like Overcharged Egg's New York rural builds, where he just fills in a lot of the empty space with dense pine forest. I did some light live oak forests just to make it feel a bit more full. And I think that is a lot of the issue for vanilla players. They don't have a tree brush, so it doesn't feel full enough. Because they don't go in and put the trees, unless you're Jukobo, but then Jukobo is just amazing. Anyway. Alright, what's next? This is experimenting, so did that. Did I do that on camera? No, I think I did it off camera. No, I just did it. I would have just done it on camera. Did I do it on camera? I have no idea. Seating area. Nice. I kind of felt like it was probably the place where all the cool, hip, young adults would go. Yeah, to have like their lunch. Have a local from the local cafe. And take it out and sit there, have a chat. I don't know what I was thinking here, honestly. But I just felt I wanted to think. At this point, I was getting rather tired of detailing, and I just wanted to get the video out. This was literally me, like, what, 30 minutes ago. So, yeah. This is really sloppy tile work as well. I wasn't putting much effort into the detailing, I'll admit, and I think that is something to be ashamed of, but I will come back and fix it up next episode. I just wasn't enjoying it at this point. I was getting tired, so yeah. I don't really understand my detailing half the time, but I just don't know what to put in empty space. And often on empty space is good. But at the same time, in City Skylines, it just looks wrong. Here is the cinematics. You see me clicking on the thing. So I'll leave you with that. I was going to edit out the clicking on the thing, but, well, I didn't realise I was so near the end of the voiceover. And you know what? Because I'm still speaking, I'm just not continue to speak. I'll stop speaking, slap the rail ride on the end. The rail ride, please understand, is from before the detailing, any detailing. So it's not going to be very polished, not that it's polished anyway. And as you can see, my cinematic camera work is a very sloppy business. However, it's alright, you get a feel for what I was going for. Ish, sort of. And I do like the way the skyline and the buildings have turned out, and it looks good from afar, but as soon as you zoom in, it doesn't look good. Train ride time.